Welcome to the Higher Power Podcast, where your safe zone for discovering your true self is created. We are your hosts, Frank Sieben and Jill Humphreys. Hi everyone and welcome to the Higher Power Podcast. This is episode 26, Jill.
Wow, 26. This is an incredible 3-part series, though, that we've decided to bring you guys, and we're getting a lot of feedback on this, so it's obviously something that you're really interested in, and tonight is going to be no exception, Frank. But before we go into that, we have to make sure that our listeners are given the love and gratitude that we do every single week. So take it away, Frank.
Absolutely, yeah. This is no different in this episode. Yeah, I agree. We would love to reach out to each and every one of you and really say thank you for all the love you send us our way on a weekly basis. And it's very inspiring for us to see emails coming in where you just say thank you. And we understand that what we do matters to you, and this really means the world to us. So beyond grateful for all the love. Thank you.
And it's been a spectacular weekend this weekend as well. We've had a lot of planetary things going on. We've got a black moon as we're speaking because I'm based in the UK. Frank, you're over in Germany. We've had a time dimension change as well this weekend too. So it's been a very deep feeling week this week with all the emotions going on, but we're addressing something that can really help you tonight. And we're going to do a deep dive into research regarding negative self-talk. And we're going to help you with some books, some articles we've found. So with that, beyond grateful for all you guys here, and let's connect with each other tonight in a deeper way. And that is all about how the mind and the body can actually be integrated and not be disintegrated, like sometimes happens when self-talk brings us this negative energy and makes life complicated for us. So, Frank, let's tonight try and see if we can help everybody here with, I think we've got some amazing information to share. So let's get down to it.
Yeah, I can't wait to share this. Absolutely. Author Adam Kahn shares a story in his book, Self-Help Stuff That Works, of how Randall Marciana found out what kind of mental strategy most improved a person's performance when throwing darts. Marciana asked his dart players to try everything from mental imagery, that is visualizing to hit the target, and Zen meditation, that is clearing the mind of any external thoughts. And then he discovered that positive self-talk was the best technique for improving the darts thrower's ability to hit the actual target. This kind of self-talk is very simple. It consists of talking to oneself in a confident and reassuring, positive and friendly way. And surprisingly, positive self-talk works better than anything else. Jill, what do you think about this?
I think it's amazing, especially when you've got dart players. I mean, they want to hit the bullseye. They want scores. If you're going to talk yourself into doing something, or you can talk yourself into not doing something. So either way, It's got to have a good positive effect. And obviously it did.
Yeah. And this shows that you can also translate this example into any area of your life.
Yeah, absolutely. It doesn't just work with darts. It should work with everything. But how many times do we actually think that we should change our self-talk? That's the dangerous part.
Yeah.
We hear this in a dialogue and we keep thinking, this is the way I am. This is who I am. That's just a story. That's just a complete illusion. And it's very powerful what you do think you become, and your attention goes where this focus flows to. So be very, very aware of the power of this. In an American Journal of Nursing articles also, which was Making Self-Talk Positive, McGonigal defines harmful negativity as being, and I love this word, awfulistic.
Yeah, this is cool.
And that is where everything is viewed as being catastrophe absolutistic. And that's using must, always, never, or should have statements in your self-talk. It's generally healthier to refrain from all or nothing thinking, discounting the positive emotional reasoning and personalization and blame.
Jill, I just had an idea. What if you are a dart player and you do Zen meditation and positive self-talk?
Wow.
I think you hit 5 times.
I would just like to be a member of that team, of that person, I think, as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Life is like a big swing dangling between the depths of happiness and sadness. And as soon as we descend down the slope of sadness, we accelerate over the ever feel-good acclivity of happiness. At times of distress, when we are down, we slip over an abyss of emotional trauma and frustration. One who can rise above the occasion is the architect of many wins over sorrows. That's really powerful.
I know. In her book, Your Body Believes Every Word You Say, Barbara Levine recommends that we examine our seed thoughts for signs of mindless cliches and other negative elements, so we can replace these thoughts with something more constructive. Regardless whether our thoughts are positive or negative, Levine suggests that we reflect upon how we are feeling when these kinds of self-talk statements arise. We can then discover which thoughts help us feel better, so we can pay more attention to those thoughts more often. Positive self-talk has been associated with reducing stress, which has been shown in numerous health studies to affect our health. Both thoughts and self-talk are based on beliefs that we form early in life. We've witnessed firsthand beliefs shape our self-talk, which in turn affects our self-esteem and our quality of life.
Yeah, this is very true.
If you ever think to yourself about what I've just said there, where are you going or how are you feeling at that penultimate moment when you're destroying yourself with negative self-talk or destructive self-talk or distrust of you even to fulfill a task that you think you can't do? And it's only that your brain is going into survival mode as well. So your brain is not going to say, yes, we can do this. Your brain is going to think, it's best we don't do this.
I think your brain will not even think we don't do this. It will just shut down. It's because it doesn't need to think about it anymore. It's an opportunity that is going to waste.
True. But I do think we, as a human culture, analyze things. And by analyzing things, I think we can sometimes destroy our own potential.
Oh, yeah.
By thinking we can't do it, talking ourselves out of it. Because we've got no data maybe to something that we're doing, or we don't think we're going to be good enough because we compare.
Yeah.
We are a whole nation of comparers.
But once you do this, your mind will shut you down in a way that, okay, well, we don't need to think about this any longer. We can't do this anyway, so I don't bother anymore.
But how many of us dwell on it, though, Frank?
Oh yeah, I mean, sure. You get in once you enter this down cycle, you even make things worse in your mind. Yeah. What I mean is that your mind does not make any effort to do the opposite and give you some positive direction here. Because it says, okay, we can't do this. I don't need to think about it. But your mind will make you think that you're a failure. Yeah. This is the self-image you give yourself after that. Absolutely. Yeah.
And so
it will get cellular.
And everything stops. Your confidence starts to go. Your self-esteem starts to go.
Yeah.
Your image may even be affected by it. Your body language certainly is affected by it.
Oh, not only the body language. I would say every cell in your body suffers. Because, I mean, the energy you send out that moment is so destructive and so negative that even people around you will notice that shift. We all had this moment when something triggers that negative self-talk and you just feel, and before everything was perfect and everything was cool and you were fine and you were happy, and then something comes up, boom, there's a trigger and sets you in this negative self-talk, or what are these people thinking, or I'm not good enough, whatever that may be. And everything just drops.
And it can happen at a drop of a hat, like you say, but that trigger, again, can come from childhood.
Yeah.
It reminds us of something perhaps we were told we weren't to do, or we weren't good at, or who do you think you are? So how do we help ourselves? We need to replace negative self-talk with positive self-talk. We're willing to let ourselves accept. You can't draw on a chalkboard if there's an eraser following close behind. That's what negative self-talk is. It erases the good and replenishes it with the bad.
Exactly. Yeah. How powerful is that?
Increasing your self-esteem involves self-encouragement and activity. Sitting around and waiting to feel better about yourself will most likely lead to failure. So take action today. And we found a few things and an article that we're hopefully going to recommend to you here. These are packed actually with little exercises and things that you can do. It's not going to happen overnight. This has got to be a constant thing that you're going to have to do. But if you really want to make some changes where you're feeling better about yourself, this is really, really what counts, about what you say to yourself. And working within, as we always say, helps you work without. So let's get down about the articles, Frank. I know the one you were just sharing was incredible. So can you share that with us now, please?
What I found here is an article that is about a study from the University of Michigan. And they did an experiment with a small caveat. Participants would either use the word I or you when addressing themselves with their self-talk. This is what the experiment looked like. So they asked the volunteers to give a speech. And the catch was they were only given 5 minutes of mental preparation to the speech. And during the 5 minutes, they were told to talk to themselves and to address themselves as I. For the rest of the group, their 5 minutes was spent using you by addressing themselves in the third person. That's an interesting distinction here. Using only their names. At the close of the study, this is what they found out. People who used I said things like, "Oh my God, how am I going to do this? I can't prepare a speech in 5 minutes without any notes. It takes days for me to prepare a speech." And people who used the word you or their name said things like, "Ethan," or whatever the name is, "you can do this. You've given a ton of speeches before," or any examples like this. Clearly, the people who used you or their names sounded more rational and less emotional, perhaps because they were able to get some distance from themselves. So this shows that the self-talk can actually influence the results. But here's what's coming now. The research done out at this university in Japan shows again that motor skills especially are greatly affected by self-talk. Their result of research show that positive self-talk improved physical performance by 11%. Their research was based around a simple balancing exercise. Students completed the exercise, then were given 30 seconds to rest before completing it a second time. In between the sets, students were told to pay attention to their own self-talk. And some students just reported having negative self-talk, and other ones reported having positive self-talk. And still another group reported that they had a combination of both. And now the results are shocking. Students that reported using a positive self-talk exclusively during those 30 seconds were able to hold their balance a full second longer than those who used negative self-talk or the mix of both.
That's incredible. Totally incredible. And I can believe that in a way, because when you think about how athletes train, their coach is constantly encouraging them. Their coach is making them see their ability and understanding the power that they've got within, and they know and they encourage and they want them to progress and they want them to have this self-belief. You can imagine if Usain Bolt went out there one day and said, I can't do this. I can't run that fast. There's no way I'm going to beat that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, he's an incredible example, and Mo Farah is the same. They're both powerhouses.
Oh, totally.
Both built completely different. And how interesting is that? Because one doesn't look powerful, but he's got the biggest staying power ever. Usain is a big guy, full of power and full. You can see in his eyes. Actually, I've watched him on those starting blocks when we've had the close-ups. You can hear almost what he's saying to himself.
Yeah.
He's there already, isn't he?
But he's preparing himself. He sees himself running through this finish line first. This is cool that you mentioned that. And I actually read an interview about Usain Bolt, and he said that his mental training is most important to him.
Yeah, I can believe it. But it does start within, and it starts what's between your head, what's between your ears, rather.
Yeah, big investment. But I also loved what we said when I shared the article with you, that we say, we as well, we can do this, which is even stronger. Because if you have guides, like if you trust your intuition or if you have your success team with you all the time, you can even create this team of winners.
Yeah, absolutely. And you've got backup 24/7 then. You've got somebody to call on because...
Exactly, yeah.
You can talk yourself into... It's just like I was talking before when that situation with the driving, and I was talking myself into almost having a crash. I could feel myself going that way, and I just thought, that's it. I've got to resign to the fact that I can't do anything about this. And then I thought, yes, I can. We got this. We can do this. We can do something. We got this,
here. Yeah. We got your back.
Yeah. So I think it's incredible. And I don't think we realize the power that we've got of controlling this ourselves.
Yeah.
Because you can feel, if you feel yourself going down this disempowerment, you can actually stop and say, is this serving me? Is it me that's getting more upset? Am I hurting this person more? Am I hurting myself more? Am I getting out of the situation what I want to get out there? What is the outcome here? The outcome is total disillusionment with yourself, with the whole scenario of whatever you've done, and it's stepping out of your true power totally.
It's total disempowerment, absolutely. And you can put it to the test by simply asking, would I communicate like this to my best friend?
I don't think your best friend would be around much longer.
No, exactly. Your ex-best friend.
But are you your own best friend when things go wrong? That's the question. I mean.
Exactly, yeah.
Because the worst part of this is you do a lot of this bad self-talk on your own.
24/7.
You can be eating a piece of chocolate cake you're not supposed to be eating, and then you go and beat yourself up badly about it.
Yeah, playing the blame game.
Always. Or there could be something that's going wrong on the outside. You feel completely exonerated. You don't want to take any responsibility. So it's someone else's fault. But I don't think we see the true picture when we're so much in the frame. We've got to step back and have a look what's going on really for all of it. But I'd like to share this book. And actually, this book was one of the first self-help books I was ever given. And I laughed at the title, actually, Because I thought that's a really strange thing. This really strange title to have for a book. How could this possibly be interesting? But, oh boy, when I got it, oh yeah. The title is What to Say When You Talk to Yourself. And it's by a Dr. Shad Helmstetter. And to anybody who's really into personal development, this is something that you either add to your list or it's probably tattered and torn by now. Because every single leader that you're going to come across probably has read this book. It's world-renowned, recommended, and it's a few years old now, but it's still on Amazon if you want to get it. And it's about the powerful new techniques to program your potential for success. Some of the wording in it is pretty old now, and we don't use these phrases and saying, but the true core of the message is alive and well and should be practiced on a daily basis. And there's a little note about the book here, which reads on Amazon. You don't have to be crazy to talk to yourself. We all talk to ourselves all of the time, usually without realizing it. And most of what we tell ourselves is negative, counterproductive and damaging. And this prevents us from enjoying a fulfilled and successful life.
Yeah.
Shad Helmstetter's simple but profound techniques within this book, based on an understanding of the process of the human brain, have enabled thousands of people to get back in control of their lives. And that's by learning how to talk to yourself in new ways. So you're going to feel better and more accomplished when you practice some better positive ways of talking to yourself. And it's going to have a tipping point on everything, your life, your relationships, your work, your personal growth. So it is one of my favorites, I have to put my hand up and say, because if my clients have a problem with this, I only have to give them this book and they come back and they go, well, that's pretty incredible, actually. I never realized what I was saying. Or some of the exercises in here I failed badly on, but in failing, I've found out where I'm falling. So I think that's quite incredible.
Yeah, absolutely. Brilliant. I have to admit, I never read that book, Jill, but it's now definitely on my list. I just found the book online and I want to read out just 2 or 3 examples of how you can motivate yourself in any area of your life, because it's just absolutely mind-blowing. So you can say to yourself, for example, I can do anything I believe I can do. I've got it, and every day I get more of it. I have talent, skills, and ability. And if you think about this, it's true, because everybody has that gift to share with the world. Everybody has something where other people would like murder and kill to get that talent and that skill. It's true. Or you can say, I set goals and I reach them. I know what I want out of life. I go after it and I get it. If you talk to yourself in this way, I mean, now you probably, I hope that our listeners get the difference in the effect. Even when I read it now, my whole body goes, yeah, I'm so in, Frank. Let's do this. We got this.
The thing is with the body always loves to be this vibratory mass of cells, and the cells need positive thinking.
Yeah.
Your body needs it. It should be like your daily teeth brushing, you're brushing your hair.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you need the daily dose of this to keep well.
Yeah.
To keep you mentally happy, physically happy. And people who have this positive outlook kind of hold their head up. They have a different posture as well. So I'm fully all in. When you were saying it, I was getting all excited, thinking, oh, what are we going to do now then? What are we going to do next? Let's go. Let's do it.
Well, if you think about it, your body consists of at least 70% of water, right? So, and if you remember, we shared it on another podcast about the water crystals with Dr. Imoto Matsumoto.
Yeah.
This is the effect it has on your body. If you talk to yourself like this, well, you're gonna shift your energy in no time, like this.
Yeah.
And all it needs is that decision to do it.
Well, before we came on here tonight, I was actually listening to Deepak Chopra live. And I learned so much from that gentleman, but he actually quoted, which I didn't know anything of this about, each organ of the body has different receptive cells.
Wow.
And these different receptive cells have these little antennas on them. And they pick up either a low energy in a kidney or a high energy in the brain. And sometimes if they're on two different frequencies, this can be a problem as well.
Yeah.
But if you meditate, you can actually tune the cells of each organ to the same vibration.
That's yeah. This sounds like total alignment in that moment. I'm gonna try this consciously to do in my next meditation. Let's see.
Yeah, I know. So moving on to another book that I found as well. It's Stop Negative Self-Talk Today by Faith Starr. And this is about secrets to positive thinking that will heal your soul. And that was I was just talking about there. So this is Quotes and Secrets to Positive Thinking that will heal your soul by Faith Starr. The little bit of the writing up about this, and to let you know what it's about without going into too much detail, is positive thinking is a way of approaching unpleasantness more productively. It's always about thinking the best, not the worst. Positive thinking usually starts along with self-talk. Self-talk is the endless supply of unspoken ideas that run through your head, moment by moment. These automatic thoughts can be negative or positive. A large part of your self-talk comes from the logic and cause. Other thoughts might arise from misunderstandings that you can create yourself because you've got a lack of information. If your thoughts are mostly negative, your outlook on life will be pessimistic. And this little book can help you solve this problem and can be a useful guide to changing your negative thinking.
Yeah.
So, we've covered, but we haven't even scratched the scratch. We could go on, and we realised we are kind of, but this subject is just forever. Amen.
Absolutely, Jill. I think this topic is endless, limitless, like we are.
I know. Yeah. But we really hope, to wrap up for me tonight, I really hope that what we've shared with you has been helpful. We deep dived into where negative self-talk comes from. We've deep dived into some of the research for you, but we've also deep dived in what it does to you. This is the biggest thing that you've got to realise, that you can actually talk yourself healthy. And that is, a cleaner self-talk has a cleaner flow state in the actual body. So
I love that.
Yeah. So for me, I'm going to wish you guys a sleep night, not a crazy night. Thinking, what am I thinking? Where am I going? Oh my goodness me, they've just told me I'm going to get sick if I don't start talking properly. If this has woke you up to the realization, it's not a bad thing, actually. But
no, it's not.
This is something that you can really help yourself with. Your mental and positive health and your bodily health are one, guys. It's not two things. It all starts with how you think, how you feel about yourself, your self-awareness and your self-care. So I can't say it enough. Just concentrate on helping yourself and your self-talk get better. And we promise you, and we really do promise you, because we're both products of this product.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So we've actually used this ourselves. And the things it's changed for us has been absolutely
tremendous.
Tremendous. Yeah, too many to mention here. But for me tonight, I'm going to wish you love, peace and blessings, and a thoughtful moment after this. And really look forward to seeing you guys next week with something new that no doubt going to go down that rabbit hole again with. So take great care, and I'll catch you all next week.
I would love to invite you to something here, because we have also in our community, we have a rule, Jill. We speak from the heart, right? We operate from the heart and we share from the heart. So if you implement that rule or this concept also into your self-talk with the intention to care about yourself and to love yourself and to speak gently to yourself in a loving way, in a caring way, then your self-talk will be beautiful and will be wonderful, and you will get where you want to be. So I would love to invite you to do this to yourself and be playful, be courageous, and let your light shine. Laugh at yourself because it's healthy. Your cells will laugh with you. And show yourself that you care about yourself. This is Frank and Jill signing out from where your safe zone for discovering your true self is created. Guys, spread the love, as we always say, because this is what it's all about. Take care of yourself and see you next week. Bye for now.